Hey everybody, welcome to class today. Today is going to be a strong balancing flow class. We get into lots of handstands and quite a few arm balances. If you enjoy these classes, please remember to like and subscribe. And if you have requests, feedback, or want to know more about personalized programs, head over to my Instagrams in the show notes below. We started today in a cross-legged position. Coming to sit in a comfortable cross-legged position. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose and let it go through the mouth. One more like that. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Closing the lips, start to breathe in and out through the nose. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. And then as you exhale, take the right hand off to the right, sweep the left arm up and over for a side bend. Inhale, come through center. And then as you exhale, take the left hand off to the left, take the right arm up and over. Inhale through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, plant the hands, roll over the shins, make your way into a tabletop. Inhale, drop the belly for cow. Exhale, round the spine for cat. Take 4 more rounds here on your own. Make your way into a neutral spine, ground down through the left hand and the right shin. Inhale, sweep the right arm forward, and then as you exhale, extend the left leg back behind you for spinal balance. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, round the spine, tap knee to elbow. Inhale to extend. Exhale, round. Take 3 more. Inhale to extend. Exhale, set it down. Inhale, take the left arm long. Exhale, extend the right leg back behind you for spinal balance. Take an inhale to lengthen, and then as you exhale, round, tap knee to elbow. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to round. Take 3 more. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, tabletop. Tuck under the toes, send the hips back towards the heels, and then start to straighten the legs out for downward facing dog. And then as you inhale, ripple through the spine, coming into a plank pose. Exhale, send it up and back, downward facing dog. Take 4 more breaths here, making any movements that feel good in your body. And then coming back to your downward facing dog, take the feet a little bit wider, ground down through the left hand, and then start to sweep that right leg up behind you. Keep the hips even. You could stay here or start to ground down through the right palm, come up onto the left fingertips. Maybe you stay here, Maybe you can float that left hand, or maybe you start to reach the left hand back and glue it onto the left thigh. Maybe you can keep that left hand on the left thigh as you start to shift forward into a two-limbed plank. So you're balancing on your right hand, your left leg. Maybe start to reach that left arm forward. You can always still be on the fingertips here. Take one more breath. And then set the left hand down, the right foot down into plank. Send it all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Ground down into the right foot as you start to float the left leg up into your single leg dog, even off through the pelvis. And then maybe you can start to come up onto the right fingertips. Maybe you float the right hand, and maybe you can reach that right hand back and take it to somewhere on the right leg. And then maybe you can keep that hand floating as you start to shift forward into that awkward plank. Remembering you can always take those fingertips down if you need to. Maybe you can reach the right arm forward, the left leg back, just like you did in spinal balance. And then lower down through the right hand, lower down through the left foot. Lower the right forearm to the floor, the left forearm to the floor, landing in a forearm plank. And bring the feet together. Swivel the heels over to the right, stacking the feet, and come up into a baby Vashisthasana. You can angle that right forearm in on any angle that feels good on your shoulder. And take a look down, make sure that that left hip is drawing slightly forward to stack over the right. And then take it back through center, ground down through the left forearm, swivel onto the outside edge of the left foot, and take the right arm up, baby Vashisthasana. And then coming back down into your forearm plank, parallel the forearms, start to walk the toes in, coming into dolphin pose. Drive the heels down towards the floor. You can bend the knees as much as you need to. And think of lifting the shoulders away from the ears as you press the floor away. Ground down evenly through the palms, and if you can, both at the same time, press the elbows away from the floor, coming in to your downward facing dog. Roll through the spine, inhale, shift forward into your plank, zip up the legs, and as you exhale, rotate to the outside edge of the right foot, bringing the left arm up to the sky for your full Vashisthasana. And then look down towards the floor. Take the left hand down underneath the left shoulder. Swivel to the outside edge of the left foot. Come up. Full Vashisthasana on the left. And then look down, coming back through your plank pose. This time as you inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower chaturanga. You can lower the knees if you need to. Inhale to plank. Exhale to downward facing dog. As you inhale, sweep the right leg up, shift it forward, and this time as you exhale, single leg chaturanga. Inhale, single leg plank. Exhale, three-legged dog. Take the right leg down. As you inhale, sweep the left leg up. Come forward to your single leg plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, single leg plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look towards the top of the mat. Start to walk the feet up behind the hands. Coming into Uttanasana, forward fold. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows and just letting the upper body sway. And then bending the knees, stacking the spine, rolling all the way up to standing. As you inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, plank pose. Shift forward, lower chaturanga. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look to the top. You can step, walk, or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step, walk, or float. Chaturanga, land with bent elbows. Inhale, straight to plank. Exhale, downward dog. Look to the top, step, walk, or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step, walk, or float. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Look to the top, step, walk, or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise. 2 more rounds. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Look to the top, step, walk, float. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last round. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Look to the top, step, walk, or float. Inhale. Exhale. Bend the knees, inhale, chair pose. Exhale to stand. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step, walk, or float. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward dog. Step the right leg forward as you inhale, come up crescent pose. Option to lift the front heel. Exhale, plant the hands, take it through your vinyasa. Option to keep the right leg floating. Step the left leg forward as you inhale, raise up, crescent pose. Option to lift the front heel. And then as you exhale, take it through your vinyasa. You're always welcome to skip them. And look to the top of the mat, step, walk, or float. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Bend the knees, chair pose, inhale. Exhale to stand. 4 more rounds of Surya, be like that. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, dog. Right leg steps. Inhale, your crescent. Exhale, vinyasa or stip it. Left leg steps, raise up on your inhale. Exhale, take it through your vinyasa. Look to the top, step, walk or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, stand. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, dog. Right leg steps. Inhale, raise. Exhale, vinyasa. Left leg steps. Inhale, raise. Exhale, vinyasa. Look to the top, step, walk or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, chair, inhale. Exhale to stand. 2 more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Right leg steps. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Left leg steps. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Look to the top, step, walk or float. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Final round. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Right leg steps. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Left leg steps. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Look to the top, step, walk or float. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Sweep the arms up overhead. Inhale. Start to raise up onto the toes. Urdhva Hastasana on your tippy toes. Keep the heels together if you can. Even weight through both sides of the feet. So between the big toe and the pinky toe, you're not rolling out on the ankles. Rib to hip connection. Relax the shoulders. And then start to bend the knees. Sink the hips back. Come into chair on your tippy toes. If it's too much to reach the arms forward, you can always reach the arms back, squeezing actively through the triceps. Ground down through the left foot. Start to hinge the torso forward as you send the right leg back into your warrior 3. Hands can be at heart center, to the sides, or reaching out in front of you. Micro bend in through the left knee and try and even off the pelvis. start to bend in through that left leg, and then take the right knee, cross it over the left for Garudasana. Take the right arm underneath the left arm, bringing the palms to touch. You might be able to get a double wrap of the legs, you might not. Wherever you are, think of reaching the elbows high as you sink the hips lower, making sure that one hip isn't just falling out to the side. And then unwinding that right leg, come briefly through Warrior 3 to plant the hands on the floor, coming into your standing split. So you've got options. You can stay here, you can play around with some handstand hops, or maybe you take a handstand. Knowing that we'll be doing plenty more of these through class today. And then wherever you are, slowly lower down, with or without a vinyasa. We meet in downward dog. Look towards the top of the mat, step walk or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up, raise up onto the toes, Urdhva Hastasana. Maybe this time, if you want to challenge your balance a little bit more, you start to look up towards the sky. Keep that rib to hip connection. Long, slow breaths. And staying on the tippy toes, bending through the knees, coming into your balanced chair. Ground down through the right foot, send that left leg back as the torso comes forward, coming into your Warrior 3. And keep a micro bend in through that right knee to engage the right glute. And start to bend in through that right knee as you bring the left leg to cross over the right. Take the left arm underneath and wrap the arms. If you can't bring the palms together, just bring the backs of the forearms together. Wherever you are, reach those arms away from you as you sink the hips low. Slowly start to unwind the legs, come briefly through a Warrior 3, and then all the way down into your standing splits, choosing to stay handstand hops or handstand. And wherever you are, hopping that right leg to the back of the mat, with or without a vinyasa, we meet in downward facing dog. Look towards the top of the mat, step walk or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, sink the hips, chair pose, and then bring the torso parallel to the floor and raise up onto the toes. Ardha Utkatasana on your tippy toes. Again, if arms in front is too much, take them back or to the sides. Bring the hands to heart center. Ground down through the left leg. Keep the bend in the left leg as you send the right leg back, coming into Dingasana. So the chest stays parallel with the floor. Deep bend in that left knee and hug that left glute in. If you want more of a challenge, send those arms out in front of you. Keep the bend in the left leg. Just tuck that right knee behind, coming into your Shiva squat or your shrimp squat. The torso will come upright slightly. Hug that right heel into the glute. See if you can sink a little deeper. Start to straighten the left leg. Draw the right knee in towards the chest. Take the peace fingers, hook them around the right big toe. Stay here or start to extend that right leg out in front of you. Keeping a hold of the right big toe if you can. Start to bend into that left leg. We're coming all the way down into a pistol squat. If you need to let go of the foot and take some support on the floor, then that is fine. Otherwise, coming to balance on that left foot, with or without the hands on the floor. The heel may or may not reach the floor. And then you're going to bring that right foot next to the left. We're going to set up for crow pose. So you've got options. You can either come into Bakasana crow pose, or maybe you play around with hugging that left knee into the left arm, drawing the right knee into the chest, and then maybe sending it back for Ekapada Bakasana. And when you've had enough, step it back, take it through a vinyasa. Look towards the top of the mat, step, walk or float. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale to fold. Raise up onto the tippy toes, Urdhva Hastasana. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten the second side. Challenging your balance any way you see fit, maybe looking to the sky, swaying side to side, or closing your eyes. Bending the knees, coming into your balanced chair. Ground down through the left leg, Virabhadrasana 3. Bring that right leg through, wrap it around, Garudasana. Right arm underneath left. And then start to hinge forward. Standing split, handstand, handstand hops. And with or without a vinyasa, hop it to the back of the mat. We meet in downward dog. Look to the top, step, walk or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Raise all the way up, coming onto the tippy toes, Urdhva Hastasana. Remembering this is your practice, feel free to add any movements or things that you feel like you need or want. Bend the knees, chair pose, balanced chair. Maybe this time you play around with sweeping the arms backwards and forwards. Inhales, sweep you forward. Exhales, take you back. And then ground down through the right foot. Inhale, warrior three. Sweep the left leg through, Garudasana, left arm underneath right. Start to unwind yourself, standing split, or play around with your inversion. And with or without a vinyasa, we meet in downward facing dog. Look to the top, step, walk or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Chest parallel with the floor, bend the knees, raise up onto the toes. Balanced Ardha Utkatasana. Relax the jaw. Plant down through the right foot. Keep that right knee bent as you send the left leg back for Dingasana. Hug the right hip in, engage the glute, and maybe extend the arms up overhead. And then tuck that left knee in behind the right, hugging the left heel to the left glute, coming into your Shiva squat. Keep hugging that right hip in. Make sure the hips aren't swiveling off on an angle or too much of an angle. Start to straighten it out through the right leg. Draw the left knee in towards the chest. Take the peace fingers around the big toe. Stay here. Or maybe you start to extend that left leg out in front of you. Draw the left shoulder back into the socket. And keeping a hold of the big toe or letting go of it, start to send the hips back, bend the right knee, coming all the way down into your pistol squat, maybe using the floor, being careful if you've got a dodgy knee like I do. So if this range of movement is not good for you, you can always bring the bum to the floor, or you can always just stand up a lot higher than this. You don't have to come all the way down into the full pistol squat. Listen to your body. And then slowly bringing that left foot back to meet the right, setting up for your crow pose. Or maybe this time hugging the right leg into the right arm, bringing the left knee into the chest, and maybe sending that left leg back behind you for Ekapada Bakasana. Maybe you have to come in and out a few times. And when you've had enough, stepping back, with or without a vinyasa, we meet in downward dog. Look to the top, step, walk or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Urdhva Hastasana on tiptoes. Inhale, raise. Only 3 breaths this round. Balanced chair. Ground the left foot, warrior 3. Right leg crosses, Garudasana. Right arm underneath. Slow, controlled transitions, standing split or your inversion. With or without a vinyasa, downward dog. Step, walk or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana on tiptoes. Keep those shoulders relaxed. chair. Right foot down, warrior three. Left leg over, left arm under, Garudasana. Smooth transition, standing split or your inversion. With or without a vinyasa, downward dog. This time you're going to step walk or float the feet to the outsides of the hands, Malasana. Raise up onto your tippy toes. Stay on the tippy toes. As you inhale, you're going to come all the way to standing. And then exhale, sink straight back down into your balanced Malasana. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, bring it down. Take 3 more breaths. Last one. Come all the way down into your Malasana. Set up for crow pose again. Make sure you've got room at the front of your mat. You can either stay in crow pose or slowly start to tilt forward. The crown of the head comes to the mat. And then you're going to take the legs up into a headstand. You can stay here, or as you inhale, you're going to tap the knees to the backs of the arms. And then as you exhale, extend. We've got 4 more breaths, whatever you're doing. If you went upside down, bring the legs back to the backs of the arms. Come up into your crow pose and then set the feet down. Step the right leg all the way back, coming into your runner's lunge. Ground down through the right hand, swivel to the outside edge of the right foot. Slowly step back, Vashisthasana. We're going to take really slow steps here. So you're going to draw the left knee to the chest, and then you're just going to swivel, slowly tap the left foot so you're in a runner's lunge. And then you're going to reverse the movement, taking it all the way back to side plank. So we're really working on this transition. Keep going. From side plank into a runner's lunge, slowing it down as much as you can. And really using the strength of the body as opposed to momentum to make that transition. 2 more. And then step back to your side plank. From here, we're going to transition into Kundanyasana. So bring the left hand down. The left knee is going to come to the back of the left tricep. Shift forward, chaturanga arms. Left leg shoots out or forward. Right leg shoots back. So the angle of that left leg will really depend on the shape of your hip and the mobility of your hip. And then step it all the way back. Look to the front of the mat, step walk or float through to a seat. And then you're going to extend that right leg out in front of you. Bring the left leg back and behind the shoulder. Plant the left hand down. Plant the right hand down. And then you're just going to lift the hips off. Maybe lift that right foot off for balanced elephant. And then hook that right ankle on top of the left. Send the legs off to the left. Ashtavakrasana. And then come all the way back up. Maybe you can unhook that right leg, send it back through your hands, coming back into Kundinyasana, and then step it back. Chaturanga, downward dog. If that didn't happen, don't stress. You can always pause it, come back to it. We do have a second side. Look towards the top of the mat, step, walk or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Raise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana on tiptoes, 3 breaths. Balanced chair. Left foot down, warrior 3. Bring the right leg through, right arm under, Garudasana. Bring it forward, standing split or handstand, or any other inversion you're working on. Back of the mat, downward dog or vinyasa. Look to the top, step, walk or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Balanced Urdhva Hastasana. Balanced chair. Plant the right foot, warrior 3. Swing the left leg through, left arm under, Garudasana. Fold it forward, standing split or handstand. Oops. With or without a vinyasa, downward facing dog. My shoulders are getting tired. Look to the top, step, walk or float to Malasana. Come up onto the tippy toes as you inhale, raise all the way to stand. Exhale, balance Malasana. 4 more breaths. Come down into Malasana. Set yourself up for crow to headstand, or headstand taps. Wherever you are, we're going to take 5 breaths. Maybe this time you pike the legs up and down, making a longer lever. One more breath. If you went upside down, come back through crow. Plant the feet down. Step the left leg back, coming into a runner's lunge. Plant down through the left wrist and slowly start to make that transition back to side plank. And then just as slowly drawing that right knee to the chest, stepping it all the way up and getting attacked by bugs to your runner's lunge. And we're going to do 5 times that transition, nice and slowly. So the right arm doesn't have to be doing anything fancy. Use it to your advantage to counterbalance. And then coming back to your side plank, we're going to come to Kundinyasana. So plant the right hand, sweep that right knee to the back of the right tricep, shift it forward, and then take the right leg out or forward, left leg will float. And then step it back, downward facing dog. You can always transition through from there, but we're not going to do that today. Step, walk, or float through to a seat. And then take the left leg out in front of you. Draw that right leg back, hook it up and over your shoulder. Plant the hands to the outsides of the hips. And then ground down through the hands, start to lift the hips. Maybe you can lift the left heel, coming into balanced elephant. And then maybe you can hook that left heel on top of the right, send the feet off to the right, Ashtavakrasana. Keep pushing the floor away. And then really straighten out through the arms. See if you can get that left leg, draw it back through the arms, send it back into your Kundinyasana. And then step back, downward facing dog. And we're going to go one more time, breath to movement through our main little flow. So look to the top of the mat, step, walk, or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to fold. Onto the tippy toes, inhale, raise all the way up. Exhale, balanced chair. Inhale, warrior 3 on the left. Exhale, Garudasana, right leg over, right arm under. Inhale for the transition into standing split. And then this time we're just going to take a flutter kick. So just hop that left leg all the way back to the back of the mat. Vinyasa. Step, walk, or float to the top. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Onto the tippy toes, raise up. Exhale, balanced chair. Plant the right foot, inhale, warrior 3. Exhale, Garudasana, left leg over, left arm under. Inhale into your standing split. And then one last time here, a chance to play, or you can just flutter kick it to the back of the mat. Otherwise, take one more try at your handstand, headstand, whatever you're working on. And then feeling free to pause or take it through a vinyasa. And we meet in downward facing dog. We're looking towards the top of the mat. Step fork or float through. Navasana boat pose. This bug is just like hovering a few centimeters from my arm. It's not touching me. From here, we're going to take some rolls. So if you've got a bony spine like me, you might want to double up your mat. Otherwise, you're going to stay in your Navasana and you're just going to reach down, hold onto your big toes. Your knees can be bent, your knees can be narrow, they can be wide. Do what feels the best for you. From here, you're going to round out through your spine and you're going to take a roll back. Come to balance on the shoulders. And then you're going to roll all the way forward. Whew. Catch your balance on your sit bones. So it's a little bit of an extension on balance. Something that we don't normally think about. Normally when we think about balance, we think of, arm balances or balancing on one leg or whatever. But this also takes a lot of control to keep your balance. And as you rock and roll, just see if you're shifting off to one side. It probably means that you're favoring one side of the body more than the other, and you want to try and even that out. So for me, I always tend to swivel over to one side. You want to try and get that curve and that roll right down the center of your spine as you go down, and then the same thing as you go up. And then we're going to take one more. Come up to the top, maybe release the toes, and then slowly start to lower the legs all the way down. Extend the legs nice and long in front of you. Plant the hands somewhere in between the knees and the hips. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, press down. See if you can lift the hips up, and then see if you can lift one foot, and then maybe the other, and then maybe you can lift both feet. And then slowly lower down. Scoot yourself to the front of the mat. We're going to come to lie all the way down on the back. And we're just going to do a little bit of ab work. Not much. So bring the legs up into tabletop. Knees are directly above the hips and the shins are parallel. The lower back isn't arching away from the floor. You keep that rib to hip connection. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, think of sliding the ribs towards the hips. The head is heavy in the hands. Inhale, send it down. Exhale, slide ribs to hips. Inhale, take it down. Just take 8 more like this. If you're doing this right, you should start to feel a shake pretty quickly. And then from here, you're going to hold it up in your crunch, and you're just going to keep the left leg exactly as it is. As you exhale, extend the right leg. Inhale, draw it in. So you're not dropping it to the floor, you're just extending it out as if you're trying to push a button with your toes. Exhale, right. Inhale. Keep the neck relaxed. Exhale. Inhale. 3 more each side. Trying to keep the pelvis even. The neck relaxed, and that rib to hip connection. then draw it in. Give your head a little bit of a rock from side to side, maybe sway side to side on the lower back. And then taking the arms off to capital T, coming into your favorite version of a spinal twist, taking the legs over to the left. The right shoulder gently grounds down to the floor. And then drawing the knees over to the right, the left shoulder grounds down. And coming back through center, reaching for the outside edges of the feet or maybe the big toes, coming into happy baby. And play around with straightening one leg, getting a nice hamstring stretch. And then bending that leg, straightening the other. And bending both legs, letting the lower back spread out on the mat, maybe rocking side to side. And cross your right knee over the top of your left. See if you can reach for the outside edges of both feet and then just start to draw the feet towards each other. It's kind of like Gomukhasana on your back. And then taking the reverse, the right leg comes over the left, reach for the outside edges of both feet. And then see if you can draw the feet towards you. And then slowly releasing, taking any other movements that you feel like you need before you come into your final resting position, whatever that looks like for you. Wherever you are, take one final deep breath in through the nose. And then let it go through the mouth. Taking a moment to let everything settle. Move through whatever you need to move through. And acknowledge your thoughts, feelings, emotions, without judgment and without attachment. And please feel free to stay here for as long as you have time for today. Today, as you go forward, may you have balance in your thoughts, kindness in your words, and generosity in your heart. Namaste.